Hello. So happy 4th of July. So I have on my America the Beautiful, I think it is. Wait a minute. Which is the dress? So I have a dress on that has the national anthem. That's right. I could pick from several, and I decided to pick the national anthem. And it's really tiny words, and you can't see it, but you can see that it has um, the musical staff and things like that. And it does have the words to it. Oh, say, can you see? And the reason I remember that is because it has Home of the Brave. So it is the national anthem. So anyway, for America. Anyway, and I have on my American flag glasses and my little pin that was given to me, so I'm all ready. But another reason is because today Kelsey, who was rowing from California to Hawaii, arrived um, early this morning because her last post was early in the morning, but it was still like, but she was, in the middle of the ocean, close to Hawaii, but she was still using her time. And so it was like 4:30 in the morning. So she arrived there today when it was dark there in Hawaii. So, anyway, so it's exciting because she's the first woman to row, and I'm going to explain this in a minute why I'm doing it this way. Um, Unassisted, which is not helped, no help, right? You could do not helped or no help. I would probably use no help. I think that's more clear. Um, and I'll explain what she was saying in that and give you the signs. So for rowing, you can do it several ways. And I've shown this before. You can, like a canoe, you can row this way if you have two people. Because if you're rowing by yourself, you're going to be rowing this way, and then this way, and then this way, and then this way. And if you're on like a bigger um, boat, so to speak, you might be just doing this and the other people are doing this, right? So you could do that. Now on a kayak, you can do it. You'll have like one long one, so you would do this and this and this and this. Now she was on a big kayak, but she was rowing like you did for the competitive boats, like colleges and universities have. And it's the rowing machine at the gym. So she takes it and she pulls it back, and then she has a little seat that it moves also. So she does this, and her legs also help her. So she's been doing this, and it's a big kayak. She had a picture of it on Facebook and other, I think, social media, and it had like solar panels for her to have some electricity a little bit, and so she did that with her videos that she did every day, and to help her have some hot water and those things. So no one brought her food or water, and no one helped her row so she could sleep. So that means it's unassisted, and you can say no help. No one brought her food, no one helped her. She had to pick times where she could sleep. And there was this area, not a real big area, but enough for her to lay down and shut the door, and she's not outside in the weather. And she would have to pick those times when the sea was more calm. Now, she did have a compass, and she had it's automatic pilot. And what that did, it didn't row her. All it did was to keep the boat from drifting this way or this way. It kept her, it was like a rudder was like moving it, and she had it on, I want it to go west or whatever. So it kept her stable, and she didn't make any ground. It didn't help her go anywhere. It just kept her in place while she slept or while she 8. And so, like, if the boat was drifting this way, then that rudder would keep her this way. So it didn't really, help her to go faster, or, it's doing the work and I don't have to. So it's not like that. So she brought her own food and many of those MREs, and also the ones that you get for camping that are ready to eat, which is an MRE. But but she would have to put the hot water, in there and then stir it up. So that's when I say it's ready to eat. I mean, she just had to put the hot water, and I don't know if that's cooking it or just because it was dried food and it was, I'm not really sure, but they say, oh, it's ready to put in, the hot water. You don't have to make a fire and cook it, those kinds of things. So I know I'm kind of, mixing up what it's really called, but I think she did say she had an MRE, which that is meals ready to eat. You don't have to cook it or anything. So you just open it up and eat it. And she did have like a hot water pot so she could make her coffee. And then she did bring some water, and you can have rainwater and drink that. She would have to have a filter system to be able to drink ocean water. So, because you don't want that salt in your system. So, anyway, she was the first woman to row unassisted from California to Hawaii. And there's two signs for Hawaii. I do Hawaii, but there's also the one that's more fun. It's like the hula, right? And I've seen people to do that one, like a hula, and that's kind of fun one. And I under when they use it. Oh, we went on vacation, we went on a cruise, when we went to, and I know they mean Hawaii, but I don't know. I think it's just easier with your hands and your box that Hawaii is easier. But this one's a fun sign, right? I like that one too. So she arrived, and she also was the fastest, not only woman, but man to arrive in that short amount of time. And she took 43 days to do that. So she was rowing sometimes all night. I was watching her, um, her Facebook posting and seeing her progress. And so sometimes she didn't have a lot of sleep because maybe like the ocean was kind of rocky and she didn't think that she could sleep. So she was just rowing and rowing. And she did, when you looked at it, like if you look at it from California to Hawaii, right? A straight line, kind of, but her boat had gone like this and went back up. And so she was saying that the water had moved her while she was rowing further south than she wanted, but she got back up and she did it. And I thought, oh, well, it'd take her some time, but it was 43 days, which most people were very excited and surprised and like, wow. So, and she was doing that as she wanted to have a challenge, and she works as a river guide in the Grand Canyon, and she was raising money for her foundation, or a foundation, the Whale Foundation, which when I think that, I think of like the ocean or in the animals, but was something else. So I'm sorry I don't have all the details, but it was an exciting moment when she arrived, and finally the news caught that, which I'm surprised that it took them such a long time. And then they met her, they put a lei around her, and so that's flowers. You could do the lei. It is just this, and it's the flowers, it's the lei. And and all below, and I'm sure she was just ready to get some really good sleep, and enough food, because I think she was kind of running out at the end. But she said that she had trained for a long time for all her muscles, her shoulders and her legs, everything had to be strong enough. So anyway, I was excited to tell you that she arrived on the 4th of July, and for Hawaii time, it was like early in the morning, and for our time, it was a little. It was still early in the morning, but it was still dark when she arrived there. So it was like in between 11 to 3 in the morning there. So anyway, it was still dark. So anyway, it's just exciting, and you may want to. I'm sure you have read about it, but if not, read about it. They may even have a movie later about it. So anyway, to celebrate on this day, and plus a woman's achievement, and in a short time. So I will see you later. Bye.